Tasting, tasting. Hello and welcome to the 2022 Intellidex Top Private Banks and Wealth Managers Awards. Today, we release our 11th edition. When we started over a decade ago, we wanted to create an evidence-based guide for potential clients to know which provider would best serve their needs, while at the same time, we wanted to help firms improve their products and services. The Top Private Banks and Wealth Managers Survey has certainly established itself as South Africa's leading assessment of these industries. My name is Dr. Grant Kruger, and I will be your host for today's event. The survey was designed as a guide, like we said, for potential clients, as well as for firms that wanted to improve their services. And as you can see, when we change our view, I am way overdue for a new profile picture. Things have definitely changed, and as you can see, things have either stayed the same or they've changed. And in my case, I'm definitely happy to be wearing a tie again, and certainly I also had to get some spectacles in the last year. And then, as things change, some things also stay the same. It's certainly been a year of change since our last awards. Inflation is climbing, returns on some investments are much lower than last year. The global economy is reconfiguring itself as we adjust to living with COVID-19. And that makes your jobs as custodians of people's wealth so much more important. Today, we look to you as private bankers and wealth managers to steer us through tough times. now more so than ever. So today we take a moment to celebrate your very, very hard work. I'm looking forward to sharing with you some findings of our research. And certainly one thing that we wanted to highlight in the findings, as you'll see, is there's a notable differentiation now coming in sentiments between clients of wealth managers and private banks. There seems to be a divergence between the client feedback between the two industries, and it's most notable in the highlights that we'll share with you in a little bit. We've had to adjust our program for today slightly. We no longer have our guest speaker. We had lined up the new CEO of ASISA, Mr. Busisa Gia, who's just taken over at ASISA. But unfortunately, due to load shedding, he is now unable to join us. And I also will make a note, or at least ask everyone to be patient with us, as we understand that the team in Joburg is also still battling with some load shedding. So we're going to soldier on and get you through rather these awards as quickly as possible, so that we can capitalize on what little power and electricity we have at the moment. So without further ado, we'll take first a word from our sponsor, which is IRES. They've been with us for a number of years, and we're so grateful for IRES' sponsorship. I will then briefly take you through some of the high-level research findings. Just to note that those research findings will also be available in the Investors Monthly, which is coming up or being released this Thursday. So if today being Tuesday, this coming Thursday, you can get your copy of the Financial Mail, and that's where you'll get a more detailed outline of the research findings. And then, of course, even more detail and even more analysis is available to any firm in the industry through our bespoke reports, which I'll say a word about a little bit later as well. We'll then get into the award ceremony, and take it from me. There are going to be some surprises in the awards today, so I hope you're all sitting down for those results, and we'll hope to close out before the end of the hour. So without further ado, I'd like us now to together watch a video from our sponsor, IRES.
Better. It's something we all strive for, at least to be better than we were yesterday. Whether that's better at staying healthy, managing our time, helping others, learning, problem solving, and even relaxing. At IRES, we've always been determined to find a better way. It's been our aim since we began. When we saw a better way for brokers to trade the market, a better way for professionals to deliver advice to their clients, a better way for lenders to help home buyers, a better way for super funds to help their members. From people like this guy, to these guys, and her, and him, and them, and now them. In fact, all of us. In Australia, New Zealand, Canada, South Africa, Asia, and the UK. We've supported the biggest and brightest names in financial services, helping them transform and win, and will continue to aim for better, no matter what shape that takes. Because it's what we do, it's who we are, and it's what we believe in. Technology that helps people perform better every day.
And the research behind them. So IRES, thank you for being with us today. Briefly, as many of you know, we launched Top Private Banks and Wealth Managers. We launched Top Private Banks and Wealth Managers, like I said, in about 2012. That was our first edition, and we're now in our 11th edition. Then, as you can see, we started out in 2012 simply doing a survey of firms. That's sort of how we started. The firm submissions were what we were looking at. Immediately, of course, we realized that there was a very important component to understanding the market, and that was understanding what clients felt about the services that they were being given by wealth managers and private banks. And so very quickly, we introduced the client survey. and then the People's Choice Awards. And with those, we now are able to recognize much more closely what clients are telling us is happening in the industry. Of course, an awards process and big survey like this doesn't happen with a magic of one person. There's a huge team behind it, and they are the folks at Intellidex who are working behind the scenes to make sure that we have these awards every year. So thank you to the team. This is our team all together in, I think this was Johannesburg, and this is a gathering of our teams from Sandton, from London, and from Boston. Also, we thought it would be interesting for you all to see. This is some of the research that we produce and some of the items that we thought would be relevant for you. We welcome you to take a look at our website, www.intellidex.co.za. You can see there are a range of reports that we thought would be interesting for you folks. I'll just draw your attention to these. The first one on the far left is a brand new one that we introduced earlier this year, rather. The work was done late last year and the awards happened earlier this year. And that's the top investor relations report that ranks South Africa's top investor relations professionals. Next to it, you can see the Sanlam Gauge report. We developed that in partnership with the Business Times, and it's sponsored by Sanlam. In it, we measure transformation across all sectors and provide a BEE scorecard for South Africa's companies. We encourage you to explore these and many other reports on our website. And there's the address for you, www.intellidex.co.za. Before I get into some of the important research findings from this year, just a few key facts about the methodology for our awards. This year we had the participation of 8,699 clients across the industry. Those clients come from roughly about 50, or actually more specifically, 50 wealth management firms, 9 private banks, and in addition, like we've been mentioning about how we collect data for this process, it's the client survey, and on the other side of that is the firm submission questionnaire, and we had 14 firms submit questionnaires this year. You'll also notice a couple of new questions that we've introduced this year. This is an ongoing enhancement of the survey, as you would have learned working with us on the survey. Every year we take a bit of a pulse of the market and we figure out with you what are the new issues that we should be exploring and where do we need to deepen some of the insight. And so we've added 1 or 2 new questions this year. By and large, obviously, it makes sense for you and for us to make sure that there's continuity between the survey from year to year so that we can do the trend analysis that is so important and so enlightening when we look at these numbers. But we do also obviously want to stay abreast with new developments and changes in the industry. So we always are refreshing the questions and adding some new questions. And then specifically, just a note on the judging and scoring that's changed this year. There have been some shifts again towards more of the emphasis on client feedback in the awards. And so some of the award elements have been tweaked slightly to increase the level of client views in the judging and scoring of the awards. And with that, we're diminishing peer scores. We're also diminished slightly the judges that look at the firm submissions, and we've reduced the weighting of their input in the survey to give more impetus, like I said, to the client aspect of the survey and to the client feedback on the various points that we share with you in the survey. So first, we're going to be looking at some of the findings from the survey. The first set of findings we'll be sharing with you are from the wealth management section of the survey. And the other part that we'll be sharing with you is from the private banking side of the survey. Now, in this first question, where we ask folks how long they've been with their wealth manager, let's start by looking at the far right-hand side of the findings here. You'll notice that from 2021 to 2022, a slight decrease in the number of people that have been with the firms for over 10 years. So there's a drop there. But on the other side of that, on the far left, you'll notice that we are increasingly picking up newer and newer, or younger and younger, if you like, clients in the industry into the survey as well. So that's just a profile of who's speaking to us. Again, in terms of understanding the profile, we asked clients directly, which of these archetypes best suits their needs or best describes them rather. So we asked the question, what type of investor are you? And you can really see this new category that we've introduced to differentiate the retiree from the lump sum investor. We felt there was a difference, and certainly that was true based on the findings of the survey. You can see we've now got 42% of the respondents in the survey are actually retirees, followed then by the lump sum investor as the next category, and then the spread through the other archetypes that we usually report. And to be expected that wealthy family is going to be a very small proportion of the survey, because that also makes up a very small proportion of the clients in the actual industry. Okay, now on to this question. What is the approximate value of the assets that your wealth manager advises you on and manages on your behalf? So let's take a look. You'll see from year to year, we are noticing a drop in the absolutely higher categories of the AUMs. So you'll see, for example, above 10 million or more than 30 million on the far right. You're seeing a lower number of people, or even 3 to 10. You can see a lower number of people in the survey have those very high AUMs. And then we are seeing also obviously a notable tick up in the lower AUM. So that is just an industry trend that we're watching very carefully, as we're noting that wealth management is now being diversified in terms of the clients that it serves, but also perhaps giving impetus to the idea that wealth management is no longer for the ultra wealthy only, and we are seeing a trend towards wealth management for all. So this is something very interesting that we're watching. On the next question, do you think your wealth manager could improve their offering to meet your specific needs? Take a look at this continuing trend on the no side. We are noting a massive increase over the years since 2020. It's not a very long time, but a near 10% increase in the clients that are telling us, no, there is no improvement needed from my wealth manager to meet my needs. I think that's a very good indication in terms of the hard work that you've been doing as the industry to meet client needs and meet client expectations. Again, I think this slide, we always like to show these findings because this is almost like a net promoter score, if you like, or if you also think about the group sitting on the far right as the extremely likely to recommend their wealth manager, you can see that we are very delighted to see this level of increase. So between very likely and extremely likely, you're seeing an uptick, and that's tremendous to see that level of change year on year. So what we like to see in this score is these are the folks who are going to be promoting your services. They are going to be the ones who are going to be talking at the braai or at the family gathering about who they might recommend to help their friends and family. And this is the data that it is showing us that we are seeing an upward trend from wealth management clients saying that they would recommend. Moving on now, in terms of asking clients about how they perceive the returns that they're getting on their investments. Take a look. For example, we're seeing a flattening in terms of better than the market or better than the average market returns, and more of an increase slightly in line with market average. So we think that this is a good indicator of market conditions of the past year, and the extent to which wealth managers like yourself are able to do the good work for your clients and either managing their perceptions or, more importantly, actually delivering great returns for those clients. I think that's a tremendous finding there. On to this next question. This is a new one, which we wanted to introduce to really deepen our insights into clients' desires for ESG or sustainable investments, and take a look at the responses to this question. We asked, would you invest more if you knew that your funds were making a positive difference? Only 39% of folks said that they would keep it unchanged. 38% told us they would invest a bit more. But to me, what really stood out was this near quarter number of respondents that said to us that they would invest much more. And I think that's something that I would really encourage the industry to take note of as you think about how to enhance your products and services and expand the offerings for your clients. There's an interesting finding for potentially some strategic business development on your side as well. Moving on now to considering the private banks. This again is a repetition of the question about how long you've been with your provider, but here we're focusing on the private banks. And you can see that we are noting a drop-off in the longer-term clients above 10 years rather. So these two categories has been dropping off. But we also note with great interest the increase in clients that have been with the firms for less than a year or less than 3 years, which is a good sign that firms are actually attracting new clients into the industry. Now, if you remember what I said about the wealth management industry and how we saw that huge number of 71% of clients saying that they don't think that there's an improvement needed, this one stands in stark contrast to their finding. Take a look at where we're coming out with the private banks here. So could private banks improve their offering to meet your needs? This number, over the years, if you look prior to 2019, it's always vacillated. It's kind of done this wave of sort of teetering around 50%, going slightly lower, maybe slightly above, etc. This is probably the biggest jump that we've seen in a very long time. So that one, I would really flag for the private banks to be very considerate of in terms of clients saying that there's work to be done to meet their specific needs. Then also here, again, there seems to be this, what's playing out in the private banking industry, a level of dissatisfaction that is coming through quite strongly. In other words, when we ask the question, how do you rate the overall value for money that you receive from your private bank? So value for money links to how much you're paying, links to how much returns you're getting, links to the quality of service that you're getting. So it's a fairly sort of complex question that one can unpack at a fairly detailed level. But overall, the trend that I'd be concerned about is this downward trend that we've been seeing for 4 years in the excellent category here in terms of value for money. So clients are starting to feel, or have been feeling for quite a while, that the value for money equation is not very favorable for them. Next question that we wanted to highlight for you is this question about how likely you would be to recommend your private bank to friends and family. So again, this is almost like I said earlier as well, the net promoter score is kind of what you're looking at here. And again, this trend that we're seeing with increasingly negative feedback from the private banking clients in the survey. So take a look, clients are now, only 20% of clients are extremely likely to recommend their private bank, down from 31% in 2019. And also not necessarily playing out very strongly as not at all likely to recommend, but you can see this sort of like on the far side, on the left-hand side of the graph here, there is an increase towards that side. So we are kind of pulling the averages towards the middle and slightly more negative overall. Right, and so we've also been obviously, as you know, watching fairly carefully how people are reporting, what channels of interaction they might be finding useful. You can see particularly here, the one trend that we are watching is this dynamic between the relationship that clients have with technology as a key enabler for their banking services, and we contrast that often with the findings around, or the questions around face-to-face servicing. So with this one, you can see that we've indicated here when we ask the question to clients, what channels of access do you use? And clients can choose more than one. So the way to read the findings on this slide is, you'll see obviously the numbers don't add up to 100. That's because people can choose more than one. But the drop-off between clients reporting, let's say, for example, direct face-to-face or even web usage versus sort of a constant usage around the banking app, and even also fairly constant around the private banking suite. But this notable drop-off from face-to-face and the notable drop-off on the web as well coming through this year. Those were just some of the highlights that we wanted to share with you in terms of the data. But you may be asking, what is it that we actually do with all of this data? Well, as many of you know, we create customized reports for your firms based on this client feedback, as well as you can see from the different kinds of reports that we create for you. We have one that pulls together the survey findings, that would be the client surveys feedback. We also analyze your firm's performance in terms of the awards and how you fared against competitors, and particularly on specific awards and particular variables that determine those awards as well. So we do in-depth analysis there for you. And then finally, we also are able to give you insights into what the market trends are in terms of pricing, in terms of sustainable investments, in terms of technology, and this ongoing trend towards digital service models and digital operating models that we all unpack in our bespoke reports that we are able to create for your firm. So many firms have already ordered, but if your firm is one of those that hasn't ordered, it's not too late. You can still get in touch with us and order your report for this this past year. Also, like I mentioned earlier, more of the details will be available in the Investors Monthly, as you can see on the far left. That's the cover that's coming out this Thursday, and it will be in this Financial Mail that will be published this coming Thursday. You can also, like I said, get even more detail than what is in the publications through our bespoke reports. And now, the moment, as I'm sure many of you have been waiting for, we're going to be starting with our awards ceremony. Our first two awards are the People's Choice Awards. These, like we've always said to you, are nominated directly by clients. So to win a People's Choice Award is a real commitment and a real accomplishment from the firms, because it indicates to us and to the industry overall how much clients value their wealth managers and their private banks. So the first People's Choice Award for the wealth manager, and like we said, these are 100% chosen by your clients. In third place, we have BDO Wealth Advisors. In second place, we have Sasfin Wealth. And our winner for this category is Centric Wealth Advisory.
Yes.
And here to accept the award on behalf of Centric Wealth is Charles McAllister, who is the Executive Director at Centric Wealth Advisory. Hi, Charles, are you with us?
Dr. Kruger, can you hear me?
Yes, hi.
Yes. Thank you so much for the award. We're very excited to win this again this year. And we must really extend our thanks to Intellidex for putting together the survey and engaging as well as we have. And it's just a testament to our hard work with our clients. We're exceptionally excited. Yeah. Thank you so much for the award.
Awesome. Congratulations, Charles. We're very proud of you and thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
On to our next People's Choice Award. This one is for the private banks. In third place, we have Standard Bank. In second place, in our People's Choice for private banks, Nedbank. And our winner, Investec. Investec Private Bank wins this prestigious award for the third year running, while Nedbank breaks into the top three for the first time in 3 years. Standard Bank moves one position down to third place. Investec keeps its clients happy, with 92% of them saying that they will, in all probability, recommend the bank to others. Congratulations, Investec. Unfortunately, they couldn't be with us today, so I will accept their award on their behalf, and we'll make sure that that certificate gets to Investec's offices as soon as possible. So once again, congratulations to Investec for winning our People's Choice Award for private banking. We've reached the stage to announce the overall winners in different categories, starting with the overall winner for the top private bank award. In third place, we have Standard Bank. In second place, we have RMB Private Bank. And our overall winner for the 2022 top private bank is Investec. The top three banks in the top private bank category remain on par with that of the previous year. Investec Private Bank in first position, while RMB Private Bank and Standard Bank are in second and third position, respectively. And I will accept that award on behalf of Investec. And again, we'll make sure that that award and the certificate gets to them as soon as possible after these awards have been announced. Next, we have our overall winner for the top wealth manager category in the large institutions. In third place, Standard Bank. Second place, Nedbank. And our overall winner for 2022 top wealth manager for large institutions is PSG Wealth. This is the fourth consecutive year that PSG Wealth wins Top Wealth Manager Award for large institutions. Clients are again full of praise for the firm. And as one says, PSG goes out of its way to help and and the service is quick. They assist me with affordable products that will help me in the long run, and they're always friendly and helpful. Here to accept the award on behalf of PSG Wealth is the CEO, Dan Hugo. Dan, are you with us?
Thank you so much, Grant. We really appreciate winning this award again. It's great. I think it's testament to our client centricity. I mean, we like to always ensure that our clients receive the best service. We follow a conservative philosophy, provided by the appropriate products to meet their needs. So, really appreciate the award.
Awesome. Dan, congratulations to you and your team again. 4 years in a row is quite a feat, so well done.
Thank you.
Our next category, the overall winner for the Top Wealth Manager Award for the boutiques. In third place, we have Brenthurst Wealth Management. In second place, Sasfin Wealth. And our overall winner for the 2022 Top Wealth Manager Award for the boutiques is Centric Wealth Advisory. After being in 5th position in 2021, Centric Wealth Advisory wins this year's Top Wealth Manager Award in the boutique category. Centric keeps its clients satisfied through high quality service and high quality advice. It reaches excellence ratings of 89% and 86% in those two categories, respectively. And here to accept the award on behalf of Centric Wealth is Charles McAllister. Welcome back, Charles. Congratulations once again.
Thank you, Grant. We are a bit flabbergasted here, to be honest. Thank goodness we were on no video there. We're basically doing somersaults in the boardroom, and we're very excited to accept this award. We're a bit flabbergasted considering the caliber of the other individuals in the survey. So thank you once again. It's great to gratitude with us, and we're very excited. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. Charles, and it sounds to me like you have a group gathered over your boardroom watching the award show. Well done, everyone. Well done, everyone.
Thank you so much.
Happy celebrations.
Thank you.
Our next group of awards, as we show you here, are the 6 awards that we've created for the archetypes. So we're presenting 6 awards this year, which is different from last year because we've introduced, like we said earlier, the retiree archetype as an award. And the archetype awards are significant in that they honor firms that provide service excellence to specific client segments, as opposed to necessarily catering for the entire market. Here is where we can recognize excellence in very, very niche markets. So as you can see from the list there, we have the lump sum investor, we have the young professional, we have the entrepreneur, we have the executive, the retiree, and the wealthy family. We really like the Archetype Awards because it gives us the ability to recognize firms that cater to specific market segments and celebrate the strength of their focus. The Archetypes Awards, except for the internationally wealthy category, are 90% based on client ratings and then 10% based on peer ratings from other firms participating in the research. So when we ask firms to nominate who they think their competitors are or who they think is doing particularly well, this is where how we use that information. And so there's 10% weighting coming in from firms, and then 90% coming in from your clients as well. So the only category that is different is the wealthy family category. And for that one, when we consider the awards, those are determined through the submissions that firms that service that segment make to the judges for consideration for the award. So our first Archetype Award is the following. Lump sum investor. This archetype is typically a person who has received a large amount of capital rather to invest. And our top 3 are as follows. In third place, Centric Wealth. In second place, Salvo Capital. And in third place, or rather, sorry, the winner, excuse me, PSG, the winner is PSG. PSG bounces to the top spot from the 7th position last year. The newcomer to the category, Salvo Capital, secures second place. And last year's winner, Centric, moves down to position number 3. Congratulations to PSG Wealth, and back to collect another award, Dan Icho, the CEO of PSG Wealth. Dan, are you with us?
Grant, I hope I am. Yes, no, wonderful. Thanks. We're really, really proud to win this award again. And yes, you know, the guys from Centric said the competition is getting tight.
Yeah.
It certainly is, and congratulations to all. But it's always good to be in front. It's easier to be chased than to chase. Thanks.
And tough to stay on top. So well done.
Right.
So 7 years, yeah, a seven place leap from last year, Dan. Well done.
Thank you.
Awesome. On to our next archetype award, the Young Professionals. So this is the archetype that is typically a person starting their career with a fairly long-term investment horizon. Let's look at our top 3. In 3rd place, we have Standard Bank. In 2nd place, Centric Wealth Advisory. And our winner for the Archetype Award for Young Professional is PSG Wealth. PSG secures 1st place from 2022, or rather in 2022, up from 5th place last year, while both Centric and Standard Bank move 1 spot up this year from their respective positions in 2021. Accepting the award again, Dan Icho from PSG Wealth. Hi, Dan.
Thank you once again, Grant. You know, once again, really appreciative. And yeah, it speaks to our advisors, the quality of our advisors, you know, what they put out there and what we as a firm can do to support them. Thank you.
Congratulations, Dan. Your team has done really well. Now we'd like to present our next Archetype Award, and that is for the category of entrepreneur. This archetype represents a person involved in one or more successful business ventures who needs a range of services related to investments and other business-related services. Let's take a look at our winners. 3rd place, we have Efficient Wealth. 2nd place, PSG Wealth. And our winner for the Archetype Award for Entrepreneur is Centric Wealth Advisory. Centric breaks into the top spot this year, a move up from its 4th position in 2021, with PSG also moving up from 5th place, and newcomer Efficient Wealth grabs 3rd place. Accepting the award on behalf of Centric is once again Charles McAllister.
Thank you, Grant. We as advisors, yeah, we're actually really proud to have won this award. It's one of our big targets. So thank you so much. Congratulations to the other individuals who ranked so highly as well. So thanks again.
Thank you, Charles, and congratulations to the entire team over at Centric Wealth.
Thank you. Thank you.
Our next archetype award category is for the executive. So the executive archetype represents a career executive, often with complicated investment needs that requires financial engineering skills, as well as good and solid investment advice. Here are the winners. In 3rd place, we have Salvo Capital. In 2nd place, PSG Wealth. And our winner is Efficient Wealth. Efficient Wealth wins this award in its debutante year. PSG moves 3 spots up to 2nd, while another debutante, Salvo, secures the 3rd position. Let's head over to Efficient Wealth now and welcome the MD of the firm, Rudy Barnard. Hi, Rudy. Are you with us?
Good afternoon. Yes, thank you very much for the award. Yeah, it's a bit of a surprise for me. As you mentioned earlier, it's our first reward or award and first time that we participate. So first of all, congratulations to all the other winners. Centric especially, I think it's an amazing achievement for them and also to PSG. And from our side, yes, thank you very much. I think it's testament to the people that works at Efficient Wealth, our advisors specifically, and I think the fact this specific archetype, I think it's it's a special award. So thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Well deserved. Thank you, Rudy, and your team. Well done for your brilliant showing in your first awards this year.
Thank you.
On to the retiree archetype. This is the first year, like we've said before, that we've introduced this archetype because we believe it makes the awards more granular and gives us the right kind of focus in terms of helping you understand the market and the market dynamics. So this one clearly represents retired people who need wealth management advice regarding their retirement portfolios. Let's take a look at the winners. In third place, we have Centric Wealth Advisory. In second place, we have Sasfin Wealth. And the winner of the inaugural award for the retiree archetype is PSG Wealth. Again, Dan, welcome back. Congratulations to PSG Wealth. Do we have Dan in the team?
There we are. I think, thank you, Grant. Yeah, we're really proud to win this category. I think it is a fantastic change that you have made, to the survey, to bring this archetype in. It's a large component of wealth management across everybody that's competing and taking part today. And in the past, I think we shoehorned them into one of the other categories, which wasn't necessarily appropriate. So, I mean, we're very proud to have come out on top this year, and yeah, congratulations to everybody that took part and all the finalists. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Awesome. Dan, and to the team, well done to all of you again. Our last archetype award today is for the wealthy family. This award recognizes immensely wealthy families, usually with complex business interests requiring a full family office and often with international services. So let's take a look at our top three in this category. In third place, we have PSG Wealth. In second place, Standard Bank. And our winner for the 2022 Archetype Award for the Wealthy Family is Nedbank. Nedbank moves from fourth place in 2021 to scoop the award this year. Standard Bank also breaks into the top three after missing out on last year's award. And PSG Wealth remains in third place for a second year in a row. Nedbank Wealth Management takes this year's award, as we've said, and receiving the award for the firm is Lizay Visser, who is Head of Distribution for Wealth Management South Africa. Lizay, I heard your voice earlier. I hope you're with us now.
I am, Grant, and finally we're here to take our award. We've been working very hard, listening to you and listening to our clients. So thank you to Intellidex for this award, and thank you to our long-standing clients, many of whom we've been privileged to serve and advise across generations, looking after the wealthy family. We're grateful for the opportunity to be trusted by our clients to connect them to the financial reality in the future that they want. And all of this talks to our CVP. And most of all, Grant, all the specialist teams we work with to do this. Thank you to their commitment, their collaboration, and their dedication to connect our clients to more. Thanks, Grant.
Wonderful, Lizay. Thank you. Great to see you and hear your voice again. And congratulations to your team for hard work in the past year to win this award. Thank you very much. Folks, on to the last award for today's proceedings. So as you recall, we introduced the top relationship manager to recognize individual contributions in the industry. And we introduced that a few years ago. If I'm not mistaken, it was probably about 2018 or 2019, I want to say. It certainly was my first in-person awards and the first time presenting these awards. And so I remember when we introduced this award at the awards venue in Sandton a few years ago, there was real palpable excitement in the room. And we just felt like it was just the right thing to do to recognize the hard work of individual contribution in the industry. In the years that we've been presenting this award, we've never seen anything like this. So I hope everybody is sitting down for this one. We have got a very interesting finding in the nominations for this year's Top Wealth Manager recognizing individual performance in the industry. Take a look at these. In third place, we have Renee Eager. from Brenthurst Wealth Management. In second place, let's get to my notes. In second place, we have Sonia Duplessis, also from Brenthurst Wealth Management. And the winner for the Top Relationship Manager 2022 is Brian Butchard, also from Brenthurst Wealth Management. After being in the top 3 for the past 2 years, Brian now clinches the Top Relationship Manager Award for 2022. A big congratulations to you, Brian, and to the entire Brenthurst team for making the top 3 and filling out all 3 positions. I think that in itself deserves very special recognition. So let's hear from Brian now as he accepts this award.
Thank you, Grant. This is a fantastic honor indeed. And I just have to say, especially considering the caliber of competitors and peers, but more importantly, an endorsement of my clients, and certainly something we don't take for granted. And maybe just a personal thank you to my entire team at Brenthurst, and particularly those who work very closely with me. Thank you very much. Much appreciated.
Wonderful, Brian. So congratulations to you for finally winning this one. You've been, like we've said, hovering in the top 3 for a number of years, and quite an achievement from Brenthurst this year to be taking all 3 positions in the top 3 this year. So well done overall.
Thank you.
Folks, and that brings us to the end of our award ceremony and the research findings that we wanted to share for you, or with you rather, today. Like I said earlier as well, please keep a lookout for the publications coming out on Thursday with the Financial Mail. There will be the Investors Monthly with a special insert there of the summary report and some key findings highlighted for you. And also you can visit www.intellidex.co.za for other reports, as well as copies of the Top Wealth Managers report for this year. And also please do get in touch with us if your firm is interested in any of those bespoke reports or any of the information that we can share with you, and we can have a conversation about how we can develop a report that can help your business. So with that, a last note of gratitude and thanks from me to the team behind the awards and behind the research and the survey. You all know who you are. There's a massive team that works on this from the Intellidex side. And thank you very much to the team that was involved in all parts of this process, whether it was from the data collection and the survey, to the engagement with the firms, to the event production and the creation of the event today. Everybody knows who they are. You've done a tremendous job, and you've made us all very proud. So with that, I'll say goodbye and good night and happy celebrations to all of our winners. And we'll see you for Top Private Banks and Wealth Managers 2023. Thank you very much.